Hello YouTube, it is Championdjk coming at you again with another Diecast Weekly episode, and today is my 200th Diecast Weekly episode. Fantastic. Alright, 200 episodes. That's kind of, I don't know, kind of crazy. So yeah, it's like 200 weeks in a row I've been doing. I think I may have taken maybe 1 week break somewhere where I didn't put one out. But for the majority, it's been, yeah, 200 straight episodes. So check out the playlist. They're all there. So yeah, kind of crazy considering that the fact that I have been putting a lot of pieces in my collection in almost every single week, which is a little bit nutty. Yeah, so I don't have anything special planned for this episode. I was racking my brain trying to figure out something to do special for my 200th episode, and I just really couldn't think of anything. I would love to do like a live video, kind of question and answer things, stuff like that, give a little room tour and stuff. I did one of those not too long ago. So, you know, I'll probably do one of those coming up pretty soon, but it's just not going to be today. Today's Saturday. The problem with doing a live is when I am able to film, typically it's at night after my family is already sleeping, and I can't really be loud and I can't really get into it and, you know, look around and, you know, just have fun doing it. Hopefully I'll be able to figure out a time though that I can go ahead and do a live in the evening, and I'll be able to do that and we'll have some fun with that. So that'll probably come up. But for today, this is going to be a pretty basic Diecast Weekly episode where I'm going to show you stuff that's entered my collection. We actually have quite a bit to look at. A lot of interesting cars, a lot of Greenlight in this episode. So let's just kind of get right into it. Well, before we get right into it, thank you guys very much for all you that have been faithfully subscribed to the channel and have watched a lot of these episodes. Thank you to anybody who's new to the channel. Thanks for checking it out. Please subscribe. I would appreciate it. You know, comment, drop a comment, and yeah, this is just a fun thing for me to do, share my collection with you guys. So I'm very appreciative that anybody is interested in watching it. And hopefully I keep things interesting for you. Hopefully it's entertaining just at some level. All right, so let's get into it. This guy, I got my RLC membership car. This thing is pretty good looking. So this is the membership club exclusive Redline Club Nissan Skyline GTR BNR 34 with the opening hood, and it is gorgeous. Yeah, we're going to open this up in the second segment. We're going to free the piece on this thing, and we are going to take a look at it close up. I'm excited to get that thing out of the package. I honestly was debating on not keeping this car because I have the blue one, the blue RLC release, the first one, and I almost wasn't going to keep this one because I didn't really need two versions of the casting until I saw it actually opened up on John's channel, Lamley Group. And then I was like, okay, well, yeah, I'm going to keep that thing when it comes. That thing is beautiful. All right. Then I got this Ultra Red in a trade, Instagram. So I traded a hauler for this, and then he gave me this in some cash. Shoot, I should have looked up the Instagram name. It's like Rocky Mountain HWC, I think is what it is. I believe his name's Corey. So yeah, check him out on IG. I believe I posted it to IG, so you can just check out Instagram. You'll see this car and you'll see who I got it from. We're going to open up this in the second segment as well, this Ultra Red along with the two regulars. This is from 2019 Release 3. So we're going to open up that Ultra Red, and this was the last one actually I needed to complete the 2019 Release 3 series, and I will be doing a video coming up on that whole series, so stay tuned for that as well. Let's see here. I did find something in the store. I don't have it to show you because it's already packed up and being shipped out. I found an M2 hauler raw Sprite chase. It's got a Firebird in it, so I was almost like debating on keeping it. But I'm like, that's crazy. Why keep it? So I ended up selling it on eBay for some diecast funds, and did pretty well on that sale. That's going to get shipped out, so it's already packed up. I don't have it to show you. I'm sorry. But again, check out my Instagram. You can see what I found on there. I just don't have it to show you. At the same time, I also found this Johnny Lightning. I was actually going around for work. I'm still working, by the way, through all this pandemic business, and I was actually looking for hand sanitizer and stuff for work because we were running low on it, and I was trying to see if I could find even just one bottle. So wasn't successful in that, by the way, but I found this. This is pretty awesome. I haven't picked up a lot of newer Johnny Lightning, but this thing looks crazy cool. It's the 1997 Chevy Tahoe demolition derby car. It looks awesome. I think we're going to open up that. Yeah, we should open up that in the second segment. Then the rest of this stuff I got off of Facebook group sales. And I don't recall what came from which group. But it's a couple of groups, so I can't really, I guess, comment on that. All I can say, though, is if you're not on Facebook, good for you, because Facebook is a place where, you know, it's pretty terrible on there, unless you're doing it for just Diecast. Because that's basically all I use my Facebook for, really, is Diecast, and it's worth starting a Facebook for that, to get involved in some sales groups and some other things. You can find some really good deals on there, especially now with having to stay at home and your local club meets are canceled, all sorts of stuff like that. You really don't have anywhere to kind of just like peek through other collections and stuff like that and purchase stuff. For Diecast. It's always fun to go on the hunt. You know, eBay's somewhat fun too, but this is kind of cool because it's just random. Random stuff pops up. You can get really good deals, and if you're in a bunch of groups, you can see a bunch. You can build boxes with most of these people. And anyway, I've had a real positive experience with it, and I would definitely recommend it if you haven't been there already. But yeah, I like the groups that I'm in. I don't want to advertise them sometimes though, because I don't want you guys stealing these good deals from me. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so anyway, sort of kidding. So some weird stuff here. This is, I don't even know what this is. This is a Boley, maybe? Oli? I'm not 100% sure. It's a VW Beetle, VW New Beetle. I just thought it looked interesting. I have no idea where this came from. It just says made in China. Boley Corp, Chino, California. It was originally $1. I don't know what I paid for it, probably like $3. But we'll check that out. It's weird, odd. And then the rest of this stuff is all going to be Greenlight, basically. I got this Greenlight Motor World Mini Cooper. We're going to open this one up. I'm excited to actually see this one. I think this one was originally a high-speed casting, or Malibu International LTD or whatever casting. I think it was probably only in this Motor World line for a very short period of time. And I think this one, I don't know if this is Series 1 or what. It's got a copyright date of 2010 on it. We'll check that out in the second segment. We're also going to check out this pretty cool 2-pack, this Road Racers 2-pack. It's got a Plymouth Cuda and a Chevy Camaro in it. And I thought that those look really nice and cool. There's not a lot of racing livery Greenlight to be had, so this is pretty cool. I mean, there's some, but not a ton of it, so that's pretty awesome. We're going to take a look at those two, and then I got some other carded stuff here. So some older Hot Pursuits, Hot Pursuit Series 3 1981 Chevy Corvette. Was stoked to grab this. I actually got one of these off of eBay for Diecastrum, and then I ended up finding it on one of these Facebook groups, so I picked it up. It's a really cool looking police car. We're not going to open up this. This is going to end up being part of a 10-car Tuesday for Greenlight once I have enough cars. All this carded stuff, but I got a bunch of other loose stuff here coming up. This is the 2008 Dodge Challenger SRT8. Edmonton, Alberta Police Service. I thought this thing looked awesome. It was like set up as a drag car, and looks really cool. So that thing looks awesome, and that was in the Hot Pursuit Series 2. Some of these older Hot Pursuits are kind of tougher to find. This is a 2008 Chevy Corvette Z06, which is the Bloomfield Hills Michigan Police Corvette Z06. So definitely cool there as well. That will get opened up in a 10-car Tuesday, most likely. Just a couple of basic Greenlights. This one is just a CUDA Barrett Jackson auction block in yellow. It's pretty nice. And then this Country Roads Blount County Sheriff Crown Vic from Country Roads Series 13. I got that really cheap. And then when I'm talking cheap, like sometimes you can score like Greenlight and stuff like that, carded cars for like $2-3. Sometimes they get a little bit more expensive, but that's the other cool thing is a lot of these groups are mainly Hot Wheels based. So when Greenlight stuff pops up or other brands, you end up usually being able to score them pretty cheap. Plus all the packaging's all scuffed up and all that. And you guys know I don't care about packaging, so it's perfect for me. So here's a Black Bandit release. Black Bandit Series 2, 1965 Dodge D100. That looks pretty awesome, so excited to grab that. And then this 1964 Plymouth Fury. I thought it looked really good too. I think I paid a little bit more for this one. That's a beauty. And this is limited one of 2,500. So that's a real low production for Greenlight. And that's pretty awesome. All right, and then I got some loose stuff, which I'll just kind of flash it by the camera. Got some pretty cool trucks there. Got this Black Bandit car. This is not in great shape, but it is pretty awesome. I got it super cheap. Okay, there. What is this, a Dodge Cornet? Yeah. Dodge Cornet. Some GTOs. GTO convertible. GTO convertible. So that's it for Greenlight, and then we got Johnny Lightning, Herbie, Love Bug, and I got a Hot Wheels Grateful Dead Baja Beetle. I didn't have this one, so I was glad to get it. Got her on the cheap, so that's good. And a GTO. Guess what brand this is? M2 Machines. I don't get a lot of M2, but scored this thing for, I don't know, like $2 or something like that. So pretty awesome. All right, so that's gonna be it. Again, stay tuned for the second half because we're gonna look at a lot of cool stuff. And thank you guys very much again for hanging out with me on my YouTube channel, checking out the stuff I've added to my collection. It just makes, it's a whole nother element to collecting when I get somebody to kind of share it with, you know, and if not in person, to be able to make these videos, share stuff with you, read your feedback on the stuff that I picked up, and it's just really fun. And there's a lot of different videos I want to do, a lot of different things I want to do coming up here in the future. So hopefully I'll be able to do them. Still writing for the Lamley blog. I haven't written a feature in a while, mainly because I've actually been busy during this whole thing. And I got to get the motivation to just go ahead and start a feature for them. I wrote a bunch of Lamley dailies. I did a lot of those that'll be coming out staggered throughout the next, you know, couple months probably. And so check those out. So keep staying tuned to the blog. And yeah, so it's been real fun. Let's go ahead and flip the camera around and let's take a look at some of this stuff up close. Stay tuned. All right, let's kick off this second half by looking at this beautiful piece right here. Redline Club exclusive, Nissan Skyline GTR BNR 34. So this is the membership car. So if you got an RLC membership, it comes with a RLC 2020 patch. Kind of cool. Then it comes with a little button reminiscent of the old Redline days. Pretty cool as well. And then you get the car itself and a Protecto, beautiful card art, all that good stuff that you would expect with these. So my buddy of mine, I think Suresh, will probably be interested in this patch and probably interested in this button. And I don't need to keep that kind of stuff. I really just keep the cars. So that's what I'll be doing. These are not numbered because I don't know if they've actually even finalized exactly how many memberships they're going to sell. And sometimes they do them in waves, so they sell them, you know, right away, and then they open it up again a month or two later and sell some more memberships. But anyway, it'll be interesting to see how this year goes, because with this whole disruption of our daily lives, and the lives of many others, and the lives of, and disruptions in manufacturing, all sorts of disruptive things here. We don't know how things are going to go. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with this RLC membership. In the past, if they haven't been able to release everything, they just expanded the membership out into 2 years. And, I wouldn't be honestly surprised if that ends up having to happen. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, though. It should prove interesting. All right. So yes, this thing is gorgeous. Beautiful mirrored finish, purple. The interior is very detailed on it. Of course, you got a very detailed motor here in the front. The deco for the headlights is quite good. This one's actually got detail on the base as well. Man, this is a beautiful model. The wheels look great on it. Great choice. Little GTR badging in the front. Yeah, this is pretty sick. So let's go ahead and close the hood. Let's hope that it closes. I always get nervous with opening parts. And boom, shuts good. Nice and tight down there. Perfect. Yeah, this is a beautiful piece, man. So I recommend it. So that's what makes that's nice, the RLC membership. So you not just buy a membership, you get a car right away for it, okay? And in all honesty, if you're not into the Skyline and you just want to get a membership so you're able to get any of the other cars as they come out, just buy a membership and sell the car if you don't want to keep it or trade it. I mean, I'm sure you guys have already figured that out, but it's definitely worth it. I know a lot of people have had trouble with the site getting the cars they wanted, even though they had a membership and all that stuff. I, to be honest, have not had that much trouble. Last year was probably the most trouble that I've ever had, and it was only like 1 or 2 cars that I was not able to get, and it really wasn't that bad. I got the ones I really wanted, so yeah, that's lovely. Okay, that's absolutely awesome. It's gorgeous. I love it. That's going in a display case where it will stay. That's where it'll live for a while. So next, let's do Auto World real quick. We're going to open up these Dodge Challenger RTs. So we got 3 of them open, starting with version A here. These are limited to 5,500 pieces. You guys have already seen this car before. We don't need to spend a ton of time on it, but the whole point of this is to get that Ultra Red out of the package. Definitely a cool version of this, though. Definitely digging it. I actually like this color combo. The base of this car seems to be on a little crooked on this one, which happens from time to time with these Auto World cars. Thankfully, not as often as it does with Greenlight. I wish it didn't happen at all, of course, but you can kind of see there's something in there. It's probably flashing or something that is stopping this base from sitting down all the way. This one I probably won't bother trying to really fix, but you can tell looking at this side and then looking at the stance of this side, it's slightly different. So, red interior, red little stripe on the back, looks pretty good. Awesome little car. You guys know Auto World's basically my favorite domestic brand for sure. And I'm an Auto World completionist. Here's one in bright blue poly. And Auto World has a bunch of cool stuff coming. And now with this disruption, we don't know when stuff's coming. I'm guessing it's going to take a little bit longer than it would have normally. And of course, cars aren't the most important thing right now that people are worried about, but there's still pretty cool, and it's a nice, having a hobby is always a nice distraction or something to look forward to or enjoy when other things may not be going the greatest. So here it is in blue, and then the ultra red, which is right here. So these go, the version A cars is what they are, these ultra reds for this series, which is why it has the red stripe on the back, just like the version A car. And they're ultra red body, ultra red base, and then a white interior. And here it is. Sweet looking ultra red. So I was glad to check this one off the list. This actually completes the entire year of 2019 for me. So there is not, aside from of course Ultra Raws, which are something I don't actively pursue because them being limited to limited to 10 pieces, they're pretty next to impossible. This is kind of interesting. There's a weird thing going on with the you get like grill tampo, like or paint detail right there. That's kind of weird. It should be black right there, but the silver went over it. You can see it. That's how it's supposed to look. Interesting. A little bit of orange peel on this paint job as well, but still, it's an ultra red. It's awesome, and this completes 2019 as a whole for me. So we'll be doing a series video on this specific release. I might finish that sometime later this week, and then we'll go ahead and get right to that. The next thing we're going to take a look at is take a look at some Johnny Lightning real quick. We got this thing right here. I had to pick this up. I just could not pick it up. Some interesting facts there, some interesting freak facts. Limited edition, one of 2,000. So these Johnny Lightning cars in series are still coming out in pretty limited numbers. The numbers for Auto World series have jumped significantly with the add of the trucks. It's a little card in there. Here's the other stuff in the series. There's a couple actually really cool looking ones in this. That blacked out Ford Gran Torino Sport actually looks really awesome, and so does that Project in Progress Ford F1 pickup. So I had a hard time not picking up those two. I just have so many Johnny Lightning in my collection, and at some point, you can't just pick up everything that looks cool, because there is a lot of cool stuff out there. So this is pretty awesome. It doesn't have a window piece to swerve and protect. A little push bar in the front or whatever to swerve and deflect. Oh, to swerve and connect. That's awesome. Lots of cool little details with this this car, and that's why I picked it up, because it's somewhat unique. I don't think any other diecast brand is putting out Demolition Derby 1/64 scale cars besides Johnny Lightning, so it kind of makes it a unique piece in the collection to be able to get some cars that are like this. I just think it's awesome. I mean, it's just lots of little details, and I think it looks really good. So no windshield. That's not an error. Doesn't come with it. I just think that's super cool. So the casting's an older one, 1999. It looks like when it was copyrighted. Yeah, it's cool. I like it. All right. So next, let's take a peek at whatever this is. Boley. Know nothing about it. If anybody knows anything about it, let me know. Copyright date 2010. It appears to be just in the box, just floating in there. It appears to be a pretty good looking model. Definitely feels cheap. but that's okay. I don't think I'm going to keep this box. Plastic base. Actually, plastic tires as well, but the wheels look good. Screwed together construction. It's got a plastic spoiler on the back. Inserted details for headlights and painted details for taillights. I'm not a huge fan of the new Beetle, but I don't know. I just thought this thing was interesting enough to go ahead and grab it. Rolls pretty well. So I'd be actually interested to see what other cars or, castings this Boley brand or whatever put out. I've never seen them before. I have no idea, but it would be kind of interesting to know. I mean, they do seem to be pretty close to 1/64 scale. This thing looks pretty close, I would say. And it's an interesting construction because you got the little bit of lens detail or whatever, inserted detail for headlights, but yet you have plastic wheels and plastic base, painted taillights, but the paint color's nice. The paint feels like a pretty nice quality. I don't know. I think that's a pretty nice little piece, and I think it'd be interesting to see what other castings are out there. So I'd be interested in maybe checking out a couple more. We'll see if they're cheap. All right, next let's take a peek at this. So this is another oddball, this Mini Cooper. It's an oddball because it was never released in the regular Greenlight lineup. It was always only in Motor World, and this was a casting that was borrowed from another company. So let's go ahead and open it up. Now these older Motor World releases are actually not that easy to find, and when you do find them, they can get kind of expensive. This one, I think I paid $6 for it. And I did not have a version of this tooling, and now I do. And it's a pretty nice little one. So this one has inserted details for the taillights. You got inserted details for the headlights, rubber tires, plastic base. It is a riveted vehicle. You notice it doesn't have or maybe you won't notice because it's going to be printed small, but it doesn't have a tooling number on it because it's not an original Greenlight tooling. It's got a plastic top on it, which is all right. And it's actually a really nice little Mini Cooper. It's probably the best 1/64 scale little, new style Mini that I have in my collection. I got an old Mini Cooper, Schuco, that's really nice, but not any of the new style one. I don't know, that's pretty awesome. I like that a lot. And some of these castings are really high quality, some of the old Motor World ones, and maybe that's why they can get kind of expensive. All right, so last thing we have to open before we take a look at some loose cars, and this is that Greenlight Road Racers factory 2-pack. So here's the other factory 2-packs that there were. So it looks like these are pretty limited, one of 4,000 pieces. This thing is still sealed. Go ahead and open it real quick here. Scissors. Packaging's pretty rough, but you guys know I don't care about that. It's taped in here too. All right, so Camaro and the Cuda. Pretty awesome. I like it. Got a jammed up tire in the back. There we go. Loosen it up. Now she rolls. Cool version of this Camaro. I like the colors on it, like the bow tie on the side, the blacked out wheels. It looks great. Goodyear tires. So you can tell it's an older Greenlight grain rivet. They don't do that anymore. 1334 is the number on the bottom. That's like a serial number for it. The hood should open on this, but I honestly, I'm just not going to do it because I want this piece to stay nice. And like I said, opening hoods sometimes can be a crapshoot as to why, if they will ever go back down and be normal again. This copyright date on the packaging, by the way, is 2008. So that gives you an idea of when it came out. Those are painted details for the headlights, painted details for the rear. A little separate piece up here for the spoiler. And yeah, I'm going to say that looks pretty good. That's a nice looking Greenlight. The next one here is really nice looking as well. Again, we got another jammed up axle in the back here. Just sticking so you can get it to roll. It's this one tire right here. Wow, that's really stuck. Oh, there we go. So that's just from the being squeezed in the packaging for so long. Oh, this is a really nice version of this car. This one has a plastic top because they also made, I believe, convertible versions of it. And that's a nice looking Greenlight. Again, the hood opens, I believe, on this casting. I'm not going to mess with it, though. A quick look at the front end. This one's 785. Serial number on this one. I think that's awesome. I think that's a cool pair. Kind of classic race cars. Awesome. All right. Next, we're going to take a look at these two trucks, these Chevy C10s from Greenlight. Now, I don't know what series. I didn't look it up. I think these were from the older, like, stock and custom series. They have a green rivet on the bottom. This is 1026. So I don't know exactly when this came out. I don't know what it's limited to. I think ZA3, that website, is still not functioning. I don't know what happened to them. I've had a lot of people actually ask me. I don't know. I really don't know what happened to them. And then this one is another version. It's pretty nice as well. So these two trucks, this is not like a casting I typically go after, but I saw these and I thought they looked cool. So I decided to grab them. Nice Chevy trucks. This isn't like a super popular casting, which is, I don't know. You think it would be a little bit more popular. I think that looks really good, and I think this one looks really good too. So that's why they entered the collection. My Greenlight collection is getting pretty massive too. Some GTO convertibles. Got this blue one. Looks pretty good. There's a little blemish here on the side. I don't know if that'll come off or not. I think it will. Work on that off camera. Decent looking one. It opens right up on that one. I like to look at the base here for a number. And I don't see anything. The tooling number is 3, so it's an older tooling. That's an I Dream a Genie. So that's where this one was from. So this was from a Hollywood release, I Dream a Genie. So that's cool to get that GTO off the list. I kind of collect all these. Ooh, this is a really low number, 125. Not that that matters, but this is probably from a Muscle Car Garage series. This one's got some little paint issues too. But like I said, these were cheap, so it just needs to be cleaned up is what it looks like. So these were probably on display somewhere. But looks pretty good. And so those need to be cleaned up a little bit. This one definitely has some paint issues. I will say that is the one tough thing about when you're doing this Facebook stuff is sometimes you're just looking at these cars and they'll be in a jammer, creative options thread organizer, and you just get a side view of them, and you're kind of looking from far away, and it's, you know, it's a decent resolution picture, but, you know, you're looking at 24 cars at once. You can't really zoom into all the details to check them out, so every once in a while you will get some cars where the condition isn't exactly perfect, and this would qualify as that. I don't know, some of the paint is either scraped off or was never here to begin with on this Greenlight Black Bandit right here, the hood. Some issues with that. Still a pretty cool car. It's definitely an older Black Bandit release, and again, it needs to be cleaned up. There's a lot of dust inside of the interior here, so it's probably sitting on somebody's shelf along with these, you know, these cars all together. Probably were sitting out somewhere, and they just need to be cleaned up a little bit. And probably take care of that, and then they might display okay. And then this is the I think this is the last one, and same case with this. I think this all came from probably the same person's collection. Yeah, Greenlight has always kind of struggled with making a circle on tires. Yeah, it looks all right though. Not bad. I don't know what release this was from either. It's tooling number 12. It's got a green thing there, and 4879 serial number on this one. And that's a decent looking one. And then what we got left here is 3 more cars. Take a look quick at this M2 GTO. And they do a decent GTO. Size comparison to, I should do a size comparison to Greenlight. I think it's actually pretty close. They've released a lot of this casting. It's definitely not one that I go after, but I think it does look pretty cool. And this one in black looks pretty awesome. And honestly, when I saw it in like the jammer, I probably thought it was a Greenlight when I got it, so I didn't intend on picking up this M2. But out of all M2s, this is one of my favorite M2 castings. It's actually it's done pretty good. You get red taillights there that are an inserted piece, chrome bumper, inserted grill piece in there, and it looks pretty good. So happy with that one. And then Hot Wheels, Grateful Dead. Wheels a little jammed up there. That's normal on these though. When they have these big off-road tires, there's not a lot of room for those. So, but pretty cool piece, pretty cool Baja Bug. I still kind of collect this casting. Any version of it I don't have, I end up picking up if it's cheap, because I'm cheap when it comes to this stuff. And you gotta be, if you want a massive collection, you gotta be somewhat cheap, because otherwise you'll go broke. And then this is sweet. Herbie from Johnny Lightning. I love that one. Really, really super cool. All right, so that is going to be it. So I guess the coolest car, definitely, of the day, of the week, is that beautiful thing right there. And if we had to do second place, I don't know. I'm really digging this Mini. I think that's actually really cool. The Mini's cool. I mean, this little thing is kind of cool too. And then this thing is awesome, in my opinion. Of course, it's always great to get an ultra red. And I don't know, maybe this Greenlight 2-pack also was a highlight, I think. So that's going to be it. All right. Hey, thank you guys again very much for watching. We're 200 episodes in. So, I mean, if you're real bored, if you're quarantined or whatever, you know, I guess you'd have to be really bored to go through and watch 200 of these episodes. But yeah, I mean, check them out. It's kind of funny going back to the real early ones were quite a different style than they are today. A lot of the early ones I was really hunting a lot, and I was showing a lot of like chase pieces and stuff that I found during the week. And then of course when I started having kids and stuff like that, that kind of got curtailed a little bit, and I haven't been able to really hunt as much as normal, but lately I've gotten pretty lucky, so yeah, that's all it's been. All right, thank you guys very much. Have yourself a great week. Keep your head up, stay positive, and yeah, it's the best advice I can give you. Have a good one.